Hogwarts Legacy isn't holding anything back, my fellow Aurors, and it is well on the way to becoming the next game of the year. This past weekend, there was a massive gameplay video that was released with many new secrets and exciting details, such as an in-depth look at a relatively robust character creation system, a beautiful Hogwarts Castle walkthrough, and the long-awaited combat system. And in this video, I'm going to cover many hidden secrets and details you might have missed. Also, if you're really enjoying the content of this channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stupefy the bell notification button to alert the ministry you want more content. And without further ado, Revelio. So it looks like we'll have access to randomly created presets up to a total of 32 options. Good for those who just want to press play and go. These presets allow you to pick a standard character you like to either start the game right away or build upon it. For the majority of us who want to bring ourselves to Hogwarts Legacy, these presets will be the baseline that opens up the doors to more customizations. Now we move to the next tab. The first tab drops down a menu for us to choose our face's shape, color, and glasses options. There are 15 options that adjust our features like the nose, cheekbone, etc. These options are not as in-depth as other games, but I still think the options available give us enough. It is important to know that the Hogwarts Legacy game director Alan 2 has confirmed we will not be able to change our characters mid-game if we don't like them. But we can change our styles by going to a barber and or clothing shops in Hogsmeade. The skin color can be changed through the slider bar that presents us with 20 options to choose from. Further down, we also see the option to add 3 different types of glasses. Now I couldn't help but realize that they're missing the monocle. But for a game set in the Victorian area, it seems kind of odd. But hey, I'm not biased. The second tab, depicted by a scissor cutting a hair, allows us to choose our, well, hair. We have a total of 47 options of styles and 35 options of color. I gotta say, the colors, textures, and flow really do seem very impressive. The third tab allows us to change our complexion, freckles and moles, and scars and markings. These all seem to be subtle additions to our skin by allowing us to choose between 9 different options of complexion, 20 freckles and mole options, and 9 options for scars and markings. The fourth tab lets us choose our eye and eyebrows by providing us 25 different eye colors, 35 eyebrow options, and 20 eyebrow shapes. Yeah, it's quite a bit. The last tab allows us to finalize our character by choosing 2 different voice options and adjusting its pitch. It is here that we can choose our difficulty options between story mode that focuses on a story with minimal gameplay challenge, easy mode, a light gameplay challenge, normal mode, a balanced gameplay challenge, and lastly, in the aura mode, hard mode, a demanding gameplay challenge. Then we can proceed to name our character. Now this is huge because it lets us choose our last name, meaning that we won't necessarily be tied to any important wizarding family, which potentially disrupts the theory that we are an important descendant of a famous family such as of the Merlins. Lastly, we can choose whether we'll be a witch or wizard, and these choices will determine which dormitory we'll be part of. This game looks and feels huge. We can see many students walking around the school as we explore the castle. We can also spot some even flying or perhaps racing between the spires of Hogwarts on brooms. It looks like we'll be able to interact with some students in smaller conversations, while others, who are surrounded by this golden ring, give us side quests to gain XP or experience points, learn new spells, discover secrets in Hogwarts, and acquiring new tools to make us grow in the game and immerse ourselves in the game. The dialogue structure itself seems very minimalistic, as it allows us to choose basic, good, neutral, or mean options at times. Although these options may seem of no consequence at times, rest assured, some will even change the outcome of the game, as director Alan 2 has confirmed. Which is super interesting considering that this game doesn't even have a proper morality system. I'm interested to see how this will actually pan out. Moving on to voice acting and dialogue, I can say this was the weakest point in this preview, as everything seemed a bit monotone and the facial expressions didn't really match the body language, which made the interaction feel a bit lifeless in a way. But let me know what you think. Did you think it was a bit awkward? Now, there are many details and nods to the Wizarding World lore throughout this gameplay review. We learned that the famous wizarding game of gobstones will be present in the game, but we won't be able to actually play it, which is very unfortunate. Gobstones, if you don't know, is an ancient wizarding game that resembles marbles. The principal difference being that every time a point is conceded, the winning stone squirts a foul-smell liquid into the loser's face. Also, very much like the gobstone situation, Wizard's Chess will not be playable in this game. I think this was an unfortunate miss. Now, if you look back at the Witcher games, you can remember the game of Gwent, and you can see how much the little simple game added to the Witcher story and immersion. I don't believe animation was the issue here, as there are many aspects in this game, such as portraits, Hogwarts itself, and random people flying on brooms, that present equal animation challenges. If you ask me, I just think it was a timeline issue. But hey, I trust Avalanche, and so far they have not disappointed me, and I trust them. Like Quidditch, I think this is another thing that was on the chopping block. On a better and happier note, pets were confirmed in the game when we see this owl in the Avatar's Hufflepuff's dormitory. I think that these owl posts could also be directly related to the owl posts found in our Wizarding Field Guide. And speaking of the Wizarding Field Guide, we'll be provided a book guide in the game, which is an approved loaner from the Ministry of Magic, and it is also verified by our professors to help us catch up to our 5th year peers. As you all know, we arrived at the school as a 5th year. This book is tailored to us and our houses, as you can see the Avatar's house crest on the middle of it. This book has also different chapters or menus. Also, you'll have access to the specific screen when you pause the game. It is basically our personal game progression headquarters, our own hub, if you will. On the left side, as we open up this book, we see that there are chapters that pertain to the character's gears, inventory, talents, and collectibles. And on the right side, we see map, quests, outposts, and settings. Each time we open up a chapter or menu, the book opens, and it reveals the contents within related to the chapter. On the very top, we see our house, levels centered on the very top, and the challenges on the bottom. When we open up the challenge chapter, for instance, you will see that there are 5 different selections or challenges that we must complete in each selection. Let's take the field guide pages, for instance. Here we can see the Avatar approaching a hidden page near the Hufflepuff common room and casting Revelio to access it. We proceed to earn an information page that gives us an in-game tip and knowledge. The collection of these pages further provides us with XP or experience points and increase the challenge percentage completion number, as we can see here. The director of Hogwarts Legacy, Alan 2 again, also mentioned that there will be more than 100 pages for us to collect just in Hogwarts alone. So lots of room to grow and immerse our character throughout the game. Headmaster Black was also confirmed as the headmaster of Hogwarts when the side quest giver and Gryffindor student mentions something about the former Professor Mole and proceeds to talk about a Professor Black, which directs me to confirm Headmaster Black as the current head of the school. You see, because Euphraxia Mole was the headmaster before Headmaster Phineas Nigellus Black, according to the Wizarding World timeline. We also notice a cool nod and connection to the Weasleys, Molly to be in particular, as this young Ravenclaw student and side quest giver mentions a Leander Prewett, And the Prewitt family is Molly Weasley's family. Cool nugget there, but this is what I'm thinking. Is this Leander Prewitt going to be the school's troublemaker like Fred and George? I mean, it's kind of giving me that vibe a little bit. As the Avatar passes down this large area, we can spot the portrait of Gwendoline the Weird, a 14th century medieval witch who was eccentric and famous for being burned at the stake no less than 47 times in various disguises. Apparently she enjoyed misleading the Muggles to believe that they were actually burning witches. Now this is one of the most intriguing shots I've seen so far. On the left side, you see an old and bearded wizard dueling a younger witch on the right side. And standing between the wizard and the witch, we see a floating skull. Now I have a feeling that this is a clear depiction of Merlin himself fighting his arch enemy, Morgan Le Fay, also known as Morgana. I'm sure most of you are very familiar with many Merlin theories out there. But seeing this portrait, it seems very clear to me that the most powerful wizard that has ever lived is somehow intertwined with this game's storyline. Here we see one of the main forms of transportation in the game, the Floo powder. We can see how easy it is to activate them. All we have to do is walk by one and voila, it is ours to use. The house point system, unfortunately, was confirmed not to be part of the core mechanic of the game. But the game director Alan 2 also confirmed that we will be able to see it in action throughout the game in narrative for immersion purposes. But we will not be able to grind house points to win the House Cup like in previous Harry Potter related games. The Owlery and vast number of owls were also confirmed, and we were also told by the game director that everything that we see we can walk up to, which is absolutely insane. Now down at the bottom right corner, and almost missable really, we can see a tribal looking cabin. This was a chosen location where the movies placed Hagrid's hut. But I don't think this is the caretaker's hut in this game because it was confirmed earlier that the caretaker's hut is actually located on the other side of the castle near the Quidditch pitch and South Courtyard. And if you want more information about the locations in Hogwarts, watch the Hogwarts Legacy location video I made earlier where I explain where everything's located. But here, we see a more trouble looking cabin anyway, and I think this might be where the Care of Magical Creature classroom is actually located. The story is broken down into chapters throughout our academic year, and when every chapter is released, we'll have access to several side quests such as classes, new spells, and items to strengthen our character's ability as we progress throughout the game. Some classes will be required to be attended, as they're probably part of the main quest line. And just like the main quest and side quests are present, mandatory classes and optional classes are too. These side quests and side classes are completely optional, but they will help us progress through the game and help us become stronger. If we choose to complete the optional classes, we'll be able to strengthen our relationship with our professors and fellow students, which will have a rippling effect in the storyline. We learned about the combat system by discovering the not-so-secret dueling club located at the Clock Tower of Hogwarts, led by a young Gryffindor student named Lucan Brettleby. There, you can target practice with dummies, companions, or random students to test your skills and gain experience points. I believe the Cross Wands Dueling Club will be like the one we got in the Chamber of Secrets game, where the difficulty of each duel becomes harder and harder until we can finally win and get a cool reward or even fame for being the best duelist in the school. But now let's talk about the combat system in detail. So the basic spell shot is cast by tapping R2, as we can see here. And I call it the filler spell, as you can cast it between your stronger spells. You can tap R2 quickly to create a small or big combo. But if you want access to your major spells, you'll need to hold down the R2 button, which then expands up to 4 of these unlockable spell diamonds, which will allow us to choose up to a total of 16 slottable spells to access in a fight. The game director Alan Tu also confirmed that there will be 20 plus spells we will learn from side quests, classes, and the main story. The right D-pad likely shows the grid icon we can use to slot these spells. And it is through this button we'll be able to change which spell diamond we want to use during a fight. We can also see here that the left D-pad is locked to cast the essential spell Revelio, as it is a game mechanic required spell tied to the Wizarding Field Guide challenges. The main focus of the combat system, however, is to execute combos in creative ways to power up or charge up our powerful spells or ancient spells bars. We can see here that as the avatar casts a combo, this specific bar fills up until the symbol glows, which will probably allow us to do a finisher spell, or even ancient magic. The combat system is also color-coded to help us strategize our combos, such as the damage spells, force spells, or control spells. Each enemy will have its own color-coded Protego around them, and in order to break their defenses, we will have to cast a spell that matches our enemy's Protego shield color, as in Accio being purple and Leviosa being yellow. We can also parry spells when this halo appears around our head. I call it the Spidey sense. And when this halo appears, it means that we are about to get attacked imminently. And if we just tap the triangle button, we'll be able to just parry the attack, but if we hold down the triangle button, we'll be able to not only parry the attack, but also execute a mini closer spell, like picking up things from our surroundings and smashing our opponents with it, while also breaking our enemy shields. Chandler also mentioned that the spells and counter spells will interact with our surroundings, so we can definitely make a bit of a mess if we're not too careful about it. But nothing that a good repair spell won't be able to fix. It is important to know that our spells, talents, and abilities have cooldown times, and while we haven't seen the talent tree yet, I'm expecting a robust system similar to that of the Witcher games, and so I think we're gonna have a very large toolkit at our disposal to enhance our combat and skills during our playthrough. The green bar here, adjacent to the spell diamond, is our HP bar. This health bar is connected to a Wing and Weld potion, commonly known as the healing potion itself. And I believe, like all the other potions, we're gonna be able to brew this at the Room of Requirement after collecting its required ingredients. And as far as the other UIs are concerned, L1 will give us access to our magical tools that we can use to strengthen our abilities and subdue our opponents, like potions and dangerous plants, such as the mandrakes. Adjacent to the magical tool icon, we have a map, and it is there to help us more easily navigate to locations of interest and missions. You can, however, turn this feature off and experience the game blind if you want a more immersive experience. Now, as we approach the holidays, the big question is, are we going to be getting more drops or more gameplays? I'm not so sure about the holiday season, but Chandler did in fact confirm that we will be getting more material and gameplay reveals before the game's release. Could it be December? Maybe. January? Definitely. As most gaming studios usually start a massive content campaign before the actual launch of their games. And Hogwarts Legacy won't be any different. I expect January to be a massive Hogwarts Legacy content month, and I'll be gladly here bringing the latest secrets and details as they are released. I confess that after so many new details revealed, I'm even more excited for this game to arrive. I didn't think that was possible. My live reaction video linked below will show you my current emotional state. Yeah. But hey, more content this way comes. And stop being a muggle, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stupefy the bell notification button to alert the ministry you want more content. This is it for this video, folks, and I will see you very soon, but until then, mischief managed.